folks, we're continuing with our preview of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge with a look at what you'll be able to eat and drink when you visit Batuu. This will be the second half of our two-part episode covering this topic. Our last video focused on the primary places to find food in Galaxy's Edge. Well, this video will look in more depth at the establishments that will be better known for their drinks, OGA'S Cantina and the Milk Stand. We'll also take a quick look at the breakfast menus for Galaxy's Edge restaurants, which are now listed on Disneyland's website. Now, let's get started. So where do you think scoundrels, smugglers, and other outlaws might gather when they visit a remote trading post in outer space? If you guessed a cantina, then you're right. Imagineer Chris Beatty explains why this was important.
Every outpost on the edge of the galaxy has to have a cantina, right? You have to have a place where long space trip, you land in your freighter and you get out, you need a place to go and have a refreshing beverage. So, we have a cantina on this planet.
That cantina in Blackspire Outpost is OGA'S. OGA'S Cantina is run by a character not surprisingly named Oga. I don't think that's supposed to be Oga in this concept art, because you'll likely never see Oga Gara. As Anthony Bresnikan writes in Entertainment Weekly, few people have laid eyes on the local crime lord who has business entanglements all through this corner of the galaxy, and she doesn't socialize with the clientele. Zach Johnson of D23 notes, you'll find Oga lurking in the shadows, and locals know better than to dare cross the proprietor. Oga's Cantina is primarily a bar, but does offer a few snacks. However, for those who choose to be part of the scum and villainy, there will be plenty to drink, and while there's a lot of attention on this as Disneyland's first public location to serve alcohol, there are quite a few non-alcoholic concoctions too. So folks who cannot or do not wish to imbibe may still find reasons to stop in for a drink. Though even if you don't want to drink at all, there will be other reasons to visit this cantina.
I would say the drinks are great, but the star of the show is DJ Rex.
Longtime Disney fans may remember RX-24, better known as Rex, as the pilot in the original version of Star Tours in Disneyland and Disney's Hollywood Studios. Rex has since retired from that role, but during the recent Star Wars celebration, Lucasfilm's Matt Martin explains how he made his way to Batuu.
I guess the short story is basically Rex kind of flunked his way out of Star Tours, eventually through some misadventures found his way to the Rebellion. In the final battle of the Galactic Civil War, the Battle of Jakku, in a very epic TIE fighter chase, he ends up crash landing on Batuu. There he is rescued by the local droid smith, Mubo, where he's repaired and made into a DJ for OGA'S Cantina.
Rebranded as DJ R3X, Rex will play a variety of original songs that D23's Zach Johnson notes are written by composers and songwriters from all over the world. If you're still thinking Rex will play that same Cantina song over and over again, then you'll find that's not exactly the case, but you should still hear some familiar sounds. During Star Wars Celebration this past April, Scott Trowbridge talked about some of what we will hear from Rex.
I mean, everyone loves that classic cantina sound that we've heard, for 40 years that comes from a cantina. And Figure and Dan, we wanted to kind of bring that to this cantina as well, but not that same song that we've heard, right? That, we assume that Figure and Dan, they probably had other hits, right? And so we've got some other music that is in that same style.
I'll include a link to the video from the Star Wars Celebration panel where they played a couple clips of the music you'll hear in the cantina. Hopefully Rex doesn't attract too big of a crowd, because several journalists who visited OGA'S in February commented on how few guests the establishment could hold. Carly Wissell writes in Travel and Leisure, the cantina is smaller and more intimate than I expected, with only one main entrance and 8 alcoves around the bar. So when we do find a spot inside OGA'S Cantina, what will we eat? Well, not much. There's a snack mix and one other food item that we know we'll find inside OGA'S. OGA'S Obsession is a snack that, based on the ingredients, sounds sweet. Lemonade, cotton candy, and dried fruit are combined to create something Nerdist writer Amy Ratcliffe explains is a lot of weird textures coming together, and it's delicious. Disneyland's website also lists 2 breakfast dishes at OGA'S. We haven't seen published reviews of any of this food yet, so we can only speculate based on the ingredients what to expect, but neither offering seems very substantial. Rising Moon's Overnight Oats combines oats and fruit, while all we know about Mustafarian Lava Roll is that it's described as sweet. Now, on to what OGA'S aims to do best, its drink menu. Cantina will feature some drinks only available in the morning, so we'll start with a detailed look at the non-alcoholic AM offerings. Black Spire Brew is cold brewed coffee mixed with several other flavors, including honey, passion fruit, and falernum. The Blue Bantha, which will be available in the morning and also later in the day, is the same blue milk that will be served elsewhere in Galaxy's Edge, which we'll talk about shortly. In this case, prepared like a milkshake and served with something like a Rice Krispie treat on top and a bantha horn made of frosting on top of that. Mugen tea is a mix of tea, chocolate milk, vanilla, and cinnamon. There will also be 2 alcoholic drinks available at OGA'S in the morning, one of which we know only the list of the ingredients, and the other which we know a little more about. The Spear and Calf is coffee with orange flavors, Gosling's 151 rum, and whipped cream. The Rancor, which many of you will remember as this gruesome creature from Jabba the Hutt's palace in Return of the Jedi, makes its appearance on Batuu in name only in the Bloody Rancor, in the form of OGA'S version of a Bloody Mary. Describing this drink in Travel and Leisure, Carly Wassell says that the spicy lemon pepper tomato plays well with an edible bone garnish. Afternoon and evening visitors to the cantina will find a variety of drinks. We'll start by looking at those that contain alcohol. The Bespin Fizz combines Bacardi Superior rum and fruit juices to somehow mimic the sort of smoke that comes from dry ice to look like what Garrett Martin describes as a science experiment gone awry. The Fuzzy Tauntaun is billed as an attempt to resurrect the once popular Fuzzy Navel cocktail, though this version celebrates this creature that Luke Skywalker and Han Solo rode in Empire Strikes Back. With peach, orange, and tangerine flavors, this fruity cocktail should at least smell a lot better on the inside than the creature for which it was named. We haven't seen a picture of the Jedi mind trick yet, but some journalists who did see one talked about how the flavor of the cocktail changed rather markedly right in your glass. Carly Wassell talked about how this vodka-based cocktail starts off sweet, but changes into something she described as savory and botanical. Someone must have told journalists to describe the outer rim as a margarita, but looking at some of the ingredients, it's clear that while the drink has elements of a margarita, it also contains some other fruit flavors that may make it a pleasant drink, even if it doesn't look or taste quite like any margarita most of us are familiar with. It's tough to tell exactly what a Yub Nub will taste like, but we know it's made from passion fruit, citrus, Sailor Jerry spiced rum, and Malibu pineapple liquor. Carly Wassell says it contains fruity flavors, and the drink seems to be aimed at folks who like their cocktails on the sweet side. A variety of beers and wines only available on Batuu will also be on the menu at OGA'S Cantina. A recent D23 article listed 4 different beers, with a 5th also appearing in an early May Orange County Register article by Brady McDonald, which detailed the wines and beers he was told would be coming to Batuu. But it looks like only 4 made the opening day lineup. The beers we can choose all come from well-known established breweries. The Gold Squadron Lager is described as a golden lager coming from the Blue Point Brewing Company. Brady McDonald says that Disney World and Galaxy's Edge Food and Beverage Concept Development Director Brian Koziol said the drink will have fruit tones. Gamarayan Ale is a red ale from New Belgium Brewing, while White Wampa Ale is a Hefeweizen from Ballast Point Brewing. Coming from Sierra Nevada Brewing, Bad Motivator IPA is the booziest of the 4 Galaxy's Edge beers, with a reported 6% ABV. After sampling Bad Motivator in February, Garrett Martin described the beer in Pace magazine as very hop-forward, with slight hints of citrus. OGA'S will also serve a few varieties of wines and 1 hard cider. Brady McDonald writes that Spice Runner Cider, from noted hard cider producer Angry Orchard, will be a gluten-free cider with a dark red color. 2 wines are also on OGA'S menu, while a third, named Andoan White Wine, which was mentioned in the Thrawn Alliance's book, isn't listed on the opening day menu. Both wines that are on the menu come from Goldschmidt Vineyards in Sonoma, California. Carly Wassell describes the Imperial Guard as a full-bodied Cabernet, while Tonneray will be a white wine that Amy Ratcliffe describes as teal and bubbly, just like the Alderaan version. Brady McDonald adds that Tonneray will have citrus and orchard fruit flavors. And there will be specialty cocktails in the afternoon and evening for guests looking for non-alcoholic beverages, including the Blue Bantha, which we talked about earlier, with the drinks available in the morning, and 5 other drinks. Fortunately, you won't end up frozen in carbonite if you order a carbon freeze, but the drink is supposed to be served with smoke, and that might make it look like it'll drop your body temperature to dangerous levels. We haven't seen reports of what the drink tastes like, but the list of ingredients includes lemon, lime, strawberry, blueberry, and apple, so it'll be interesting to see how all those flavors work together. Jermaine Lucier describes the Cliff Dweller as a kind of ginger ale fruit punch. You can see why that description sounds accurate by looking at the list of ingredients, which shows citrus, coconut, and grenadine added to ginger ale. A few other notes about OGA'S before we move on. In a piece for Travel and Leisure, Carly Wassell writes that OGA'S will not have a full bar, so your drink choices will be confined to soft drinks and the specialty beverages described here. In The Hollywood Reporter, Ryan Parker writes about OGA'S in Disneyland, Cantina drinks must be finished inside the location. Thus far, we've heard nothing one way or another about whether this restriction will apply to Disney World's version of OGA'S. Lastly, one item that hasn't received any press lately was mentioned in a Disney Parks blog article by Scott Trowbridge, who mentioned the drinks would be served in unique vessels. That could mean specific glassware for each drink, or some sort of collector mugs. Looks like another thing we'll have to wait to find out for sure. Getting back to non-alcoholic drinks, folks looking for something familiar to drink inside Galaxy's Edge may be happy to know that Disney worked with Coca-Cola to find a way to serve their products in packaging designed to look like it belongs on Batuu. For other non-alcoholic drink news, we travel to the milk stand. If you listen to the folks from Disney, then you can't have a Star Wars-themed land without blue milk. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but we're going to have blue milk in Galaxy's Edge, though with a catch. It's non-dairy. Blue and green milks will be what Alex Dunlap from the Disney Parks blog describes as a frozen plant-based blend of coconut and rice milks. The backstory here is that the milk comes from Bubbo Wamba Family Farms just outside of Blackspire Outpost, which explains why you'll be able to buy your milk in a Bubbo Wamba Family Farms novelty drink vessel. Disney is hoping this drink will be their answer to Universal's Harry Potter butterbeer. We can't tell you if it'll be that popular, but we can tell you what sort of flavors to expect. In Entertainment Weekly, Anthony Bresnikan describes blue milk as soft frozen like a milkshake, and he describes the beverage as sweetened and infused with berry and melon flavors. Brian Koziel says the drink has the consistency of a smoothie. Green milk will have a similar texture, but with different flavors. It's supposed to be the drink that Luke drank fresh from the Thala Siren during The Last Jedi. That's this thing, but don't worry, you won't have to milk it yourself. The taste is nothing like I would have expected, but sounds pleasant. Anthony Bresnikan described the flavor as having lemon and other citrus flavoring, while Carly Wassell said green milk is touted as having orange blossom, tangerine, and citrus elements. Before we wrap up, let's add a couple notes regarding Part 1 of our series on dining on Batuu. First, a quick reminder that mobile ordering will be available in Disneyland at Ronto Roasters, Docking Bay 7, and the Milk Stand, and presumably the same will be true when Galaxy's Edge opens in Disney World. We also learned that both Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo and Ronto Roasters will be serving breakfast, including the same 2 lighter choices that OGA'S Cantina offers in the morning, also available at Docking Bay 7, where you'll also find eggs served with sausage and potatoes. At Ronto Roasters, the overnight oats are also on the menu, as is a morning wrap with scrambled eggs, cheese, pork sausage, and a peppercorn sauce. So that completes our look at dining inside Galaxy's Edge. It looks like you can expect to find thoughtfully designed food and beverage options, which attempt to balance the expectations of those seeking familiar theme park fare with menu choices that fit in the alien landscape of the world in which Star Wars stories take place. We hope you enjoyed this video, but no matter what, please let us know in the comments below what you thought about it, what you'd like to see next in our Galaxy's Edge preview series, or if you have any questions. To learn more about Galaxy's Edge, please subscribe to this channel to see previews of shopping, entertainment, and attractions coming soon to Disneyland and at the end of the summer to Disney World. You'll find links to all of the articles mentioned in this video in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see you on Batuu.